What do you think about that? LeBron's son got caught smoking weed on September 19th.
You want to talk weed? We'll talk some weed.
So here's the backstory on this. So LeBron was in the bubble, right?
Yeah.
3 months. Lakers won the championship, and you don't leave the bubble. And he kept his family out. His wife Savannah, I think, came there for a little bit, but the kids didn't. And LeBron's very close with his children. I mean, no question. But I think Bron's ticked. I mean, I think that's a real problem. I mean, was that an accident? So what happened was Bronny, his 16-year-old son, who's a basketball phenom himself, was caught on Instagram, posted this short little clip of him taking a little puff or, smoking weed. So that circulated. They took it down. But then the word is when LeBron got back from the bubble that he grounded him. He didn't let him go to that esports event with Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
There was supposed to be this huge
and
thing.
Odell
that Bronny,
says, where's Bronny? He says, I don't know. He's not here.
So the word is that LeBron grounded him. But, man, you better nip that in the bud right now because – you're 16, you're representing that LeBron James brand, and you got a lot more to lose than to gain by smoking weed.
Do you think LeBron's a good father?
Yeah,
I think so 100%. As well. I think so as well.
And he had no reference point. He didn't have a father, so I think he's trying to make up for that. But I give LeBron credit for being a good dad.
I think LeBron is a ridiculous dad, is what I think. I think he's a ridiculous dad.
I think he wants to make up for what he didn't get and make sure that his children get it 10 times.
I give him a lot of props in that area. When it comes down to the conversations about who's a great father as a face of a league, I think LeBron's got that one taken care of to do his best to be a great family man. Kai.
I also think it's a little bit difference of one thing about doing it, if it's like privately or
Yeah.
whatever, but then posting it online. I mean, you're stupid at that point.
Well,
Because
you're
that goes
extremely
viral.
stupid.
But you know what?
It's gonna come up later.
Let me tell you, I like his style that he never publicly embarrassed his son. There's a part of that I actually really like, But I bet you privately he probably got an ass chewing from daddy. Saying, what the hell are you thinking?
That's a big punishment, not let him go to that event. I mean, if you think about it, what gets bigger for a 16-year-old kid than being the face of this organization?
There's no question about it. There's no question about it.
What do you do if I don't see Tico doing this?
Let's
use Dilly. Dilly, cool guy, playboy, 7 years old.
Yeah.
He's in high school. He's a junior. He's a stud. He's a running back. He's the Iranian Bo Jackson hanging out here in maybe in Florida, maybe Dallas, whatever. He's hanging out with chicks. He's drinking. He's 17. It's homecoming. He's 17. You find out he's smoking weed. What do you tell Dilly?
Dilly, my approach will be a different approach. For me, it's a lot of preventative before we get there. It's not about when we get there. If we get there, it's already too late. I mean, I didn't do a good job having a conversation with them. I'm going to tell them everything about drugs. Remember, I talked to these guys about sex, about how babies are born at a very young age, and I talked to them about their dangling and their privates and all this stuff.
We're still trying to recover.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, very early because for them to be aware of it. So for me, there will be a couple conversations, and there's going to be benefit packages if you avoid certain things in life. Meaning, if you avoid getting in trouble with alcohol, with drugs, with things like that, there's going to be levels. One, it's going to be a card of your choice. Then the next one's going to be an investment into your business, and the next one's going to be a house to be bought. And that's the benefit of being in a family where you can make those kinds of benefit packages. So what's going to happen with our kids? I'm going to say, listen, you want to get started? I'm going to give you a big step, but here's the rules. You can't do this, this, this. If you don't follow those things, I'm good to go. Here's what I'm going to give you, and then you can do whatever you want to do with it. But
well, and two things on that. Yeah. Incentive is the best way to do it. But number two, it's the example you said. If they see you smoking weed, it's probably going to happen. If you don't see that at home.
Yeah, we're probably not smoking weed tonight.
That's what I'm saying.
So
yeah,
we're probably not.
So
smoking weed
they never see it.
Yeah. So
you're saying that you're going to set the tone, and then ramifications will be put in place. God forbid something happens.
Yeah. Look, listen, my dad wasn't there from 10 or 18 years old. I saw my dad once every other week. Okay. So my dad and I have a great relation, but 10, 18, I didn't see my dad. And then from 18 to 21, when I was in the Army, I may have seen him 5 days, when I was in the Army. So got 2.5 years not seeing dad. So, but if my dad was there, I was, probably the biggest thing that my mom did, I got to give her credit for. My mom would say, you may do bad things that I will never know about. But whatever bad you do, God's going to know 100% of the things you do bad. So forget about me. You can fool me. You can lie to me. You cannot lie to him. He's going to know what you're doing.
Your mom said this.
My mom said
Put
this.
the fear of God in you,
she put the fear in God in me at such an early age. Let me tell you, it is so effective. It is so effective to put that fear of God. I know your mom tried to get you to be a rabbi, but it just wouldn't happen.
Like, good
we
luck
had a
with that.
conversation
So are you
the other
using
day.
that same tactic with your kids?
I say it more from the standpoint of we are a special family. God's always protected us. I've been in the fire many times. I don't know why. He's always been there for me. He's always been there for the BetDavid family. He's always come through for us, and I've done my best to be a great soldier for him. And we as a family are a family that's going to do our part to be a great example during an era that's needed. That's the conversation that we have. Mm-hmm. We speak about things like that. It's not more of, fear of God. It's not my approach. My approach is, don't get me wrong, it's very effective what she did, 100% very effective. But it also kind of eliminates a little bit of being loose, so it made me want to be more pushing and challenging, but it was effective. It definitely was effective with what she did with that part.